Okay, hold up. Okay, hello guys. This is gonna be a new series. I just want your guys' opinion for this. Do you guys want me to continue Spider-Man 2099? If so, because I'm thinking, I think I'm gonna stop doing it because I can't really get it together well. So yeah, sorry guys if you guys really enjoyed that. So yeah, um. We're gonna do What If Deku was Venom. I have everything ready. And this is probably gonna go into an hour or so long video. Hopefully. If I make it to an hour. Because I really wanted to make it to an hour. So yeah. So we're gonna begin. So everything goes is like canon, and we're gonna go to Izuku in high school. It's the last month of high school for him. So yeah. Now we start. So, Izuku was getting bullied that day, of course, and nothing changes, of course. It's just Izuku being bullied, and Bakugo and his goons always bullying him, hitting him, and this time they went a little overboard. They made sure he bled. So, yeah. And that's when Bakugo said his chilling line to Izuku. Just kill yourself, and next time you'll get a quirk. And Izuku wanted to do that so badly, but he didn't want to for his mom. So, after that school day, he walked home, and everything goes like canon again. Izuku gets attacked, All Might saves him. Everything just goes as everything. But instead of All Might saying that you can be a hero, he never showed up for him. Again, Izuku just walked home after he tried to save Bakugo. But before he got home, he saw something coming from the sky. He thought it was just a plane or something, so he ignored it. And then all of a sudden, he looks at it again, and it wasn't a plane. It was um, a meteor. And Izuku said, "Wait, a meteor?" And he starts following it. He wanted to see where this led to. And he followed it until it crashed. And it finally crashed after an hour of him following it. And, oh, that's a thing? Hell yeah. Sorry, I just saw Demon Slayer thing with Switch. So yeah. Anyways, let's continue. Now we go to something else. This other theme. It says, that was a ride. Where is everyone else, though? And this thing looks around, and he doesn't see what he's looking for, and he says, "Oh no, this could be a problem." There's the four others. The four others might be gone by now. Shit. How long have I been out? And all of a sudden, he hears footsteps, and he says, "Doesn't matter. I need to get a host quickly." And Izuku looks around and says, "What happened over here?" And he's looking around, messing with the rock. And all of this, but without him even knowing, this thing latched onto him, hooking onto him. And he said, "Huh, interesting." And that's when he saw something in the rock. It was some type of code or something, some type of writing. He says, "Huh, interesting." And he looks at it, and he knows it isn't English nor Japanese, so he didn't know what it was. He said, "Wonder what type of language that is." And why would it be in it? Probably just some mistake. I gotta get home before Mommy has that. And he starts running home. And he gets home and says, "Hi, Mom, sorry I'm late." She says, "No worries, Izuku. Dinner's on the table. I won't be home for a little bit, for a little while." And he says, "Wait, why?" Says, "Well, my work has a business meeting. I probably won't be here until 2 months or so." He says, "Oh, okay." She says, "I left you put money in your card and everything so you could buy groceries for yourself." He says, "Oh, thank you, Mom." He says, "No worry, sweetie. Bye." And he says, "Bye, Mom." And he goes, and she leaves. And Izuku just looks at the food and he starts eating it. But after he was done, he noticed he wasn't full. He says, "That's interesting. I've only been able to eat one plate of kusan." I can't say it. If you know what I'm trying to say, his favorite food, katsudo. Yeah, katsudo, if I'm right. And he just gets another plate and eats again. He says, now I'm full." He drinks some water and he says, "I'm pretty tired. I got a test anyways." And he makes a cup of coffee and gets ready to study. And he puts on headphones and starts studying for his test tomorrow. And all of a sudden, he just felt like something was wrong. He was in the middle of studying, but he just felt something was just wrong. But he didn't know. He looks around and says, "God, I feel like someone's watching me." And all of a sudden, he heard a voice. It says, "So, you've kind of recognized me, I see." I'm not doing the Venom voice I used to do. But he says, "So, you recognize me now?" So pretty much Venom's voice is going to change because I'm me. Okay? Because I'm not trying to do that. But anyways, he says, "Now you notice me, kid. Good." And he says, "Wait, who's there?" And he says, "Right here." He looks around and he says, Where are you?" And all of a sudden he says, "Oh yeah, I forgot. I'm in your head." And he says, "Who's?" And Izuku thinks to himself, "What type of quirk could this be?" He says, I'm not whatever you call a quirk is." He says, "Wait, are you reading my mind?" And he says, "No, I'm in your body." He says, "Get out of it, please. Please, I don't want to die. I'll give you anything you want. I'll give you money, whatever." He says, "No." And all of a sudden, this black goo stuff pops out of him. He says, what the hell are you?" He says, "What the hell?" And he says, what I'm called on my planet is called Venom. And you, kid, you are my host now. We will be working together." He says, "When did you get into me?" And he's freaking out. He's on his bed now, sitting, but trying to stay away from this Venom thing. And he says, "I latched onto you when you're at that meteor." And he says, "Wait, are you an alien then?" He says, "Yes, exactly." He says, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to mess with with your stuff. Please don't hurt me. Please don't kill me." He says, "If I killed you, I would die too. So I can't kill you. And also, you're the perfect host for me, so there's no point of killing you. I just want to say this." And he says, What? Me and you are partners now." He says, "What do you mean partners?" He says, I will be working with you. I'll help you because I give you powers. You'll be different from your other species." And he says, "Wait, you'll give me a quirk?" He says, "What the hell is a quirk?" He says, "It's like powers. Everyone has them except for people like me." He says, "What are you?" And he says, "Well, I'm quirkless." He says, "So what's the difference between a quirk and quirkless? Because I bet there's some quirks in this world that are pretty useless." Says, "Yeah, there are, but I still get bullied because I don't got one." And he says, "Well, that's dumb." He says, "Yeah, Kind of, huh? It's kind of, yeah, whatever. Anyways, sorry. I just wanted you to meet my presence. I'm gonna leave you alone. Keep studying, kid. He says, oh, okay. And he puts on his music again. And he says, oh, also, the reason you had to eat twice your size that you usually don't do is because of me. I'm gonna make you eat a lot more since I'm here. So, yeah. He says, oh, okay, I guess. And he said, yeah. And the whole entire time he's studying, he's just thinking about Venom. And can just understand it. And he understands that he's obviously scared. He doesn't want to die because of him. So he wants to gain his trust somehow. So it's the next day, and he wakes up and says, okay, I gotta get ready for school. He gets clothes dressed and makes toast, and then he remembers again. He says, and he makes 4 pieces of toast, and he says, well, let's see if that was a dream or not. And he starts eating the toast. Usually he could just eat 2 and he'll be decent. He'd be okay. But instead he ate all 4, and he said, that was actually pretty good. He grabs a cup of orange juice, drinks that quickly, but drinks another one just in case, and heads out. And in his head again, he says, thank you for feeding me. And he says, oh, so I wasn't dreaming then. He says, no, you weren't. I'm real. And he says, oh, okay. I'm heading to school. If you need anything, just, I guess, talk to me, please. But not during my test, if you will. He says, of course. Remember, I'm in your body, so I'll respect your rules. Understand? He says, yeah, thank you. And in this universe, Venom isn't just some cocky person. He respects others if he is hosted or with the right host. And he feels Izuku is a nice person. Like, say with Eddie Brock, if he got partnered with Eddie Brock, right? He would be a dickhead. Venom would be a cockhead because Eddie is a dickhead pretty much. And also, I'll be right back. I'm gonna get a drink of water. Anyways, like I was saying, Izuku gets to class, let's say, and all of a sudden, Bakugo says, oh look, it's the quirkless freak. And he just tries to ignore them, but he just gets hit over and over. And Venom says, why don't you defend yourself? He says, how am I supposed to defend myself if I got no powers, remember? He says, why don't you just use me? He says, I don't even know how to use you, Venom. And just so you know, this conversation is in his head. He says, touche. Tell me if you need me. And he says, okay. Zuko gets up and heads to a desk and puts on music. And his teacher comes in and they start their test. Izuku's obviously gets done first because he studies. It only took him about 10 minutes. And this test was supposed to take about an hour. So Izuku's really smart in this. So yeah. And when you're done with your test, you could go out and get food and snacks or whatever. And because in their school there's vending machines of like drinks and also there's food. And then you could just go on your phone when you're done. So Izuku heads out and everyone sees that. And he gets out and gets a drink. He puts in some money and Venom says, so you don't know how to use my powers yet, or our powers yet, do you? Says, no, and I probably won't know for a while, huh? And he says, no, not unless we start training. Says, what do you mean? Come on. Tonight, I'll show you what we could do, at least. For right now, at least. But, well, we can't really do anything. You know why? He says, what? Why is that? It's simple. We need to build your body up so you could use this. He says, okay, I guess. What should we start doing? And he starts drinking and eating his food. Says, thanks for snacks also. And he says, no worries, Venom. Anyways, what do you think we should do for a workout? And he says, simple. We just gotta work out. I'm pretty sure on my way when I was coming down from Earth or from my planet, I saw a trash area. We could pick that up. It says, oh, wait, and trash area beside the ocean. It says, oh, that's just that's a beach. And he says, what's a beach? And he says, it's the ocean connects with the earth, or with my planet, but it has sand over there. Sand that feels really nice on your feet, but no one cleans it because it's dirty as hell. Says, well, that's where the training will begin. Don't you guys have a weekend tomorrow? He says, yeah, we do. He says, good. We'll be using that weekend. Understand? Says, yes, Venom. He heads back to class and puts on music. And all of a sudden, he passes Bakugo because Bakugo just got done. And he slams it, and Bakugo passes him, just hits him with his shoulder. Zuko just walks past him, though. He stands up still. He stands his ground a little bit. And Bakugo noticed this and said, damn nerd. And Zuko sat back down and went on his phone, looking at the beach and showing Venom. And Venom was shocked how people were just putting their trash there. So, he said, yep, that's what we're going to be working on, so be ready, kid. And he said, yes, sir. And he says, all right, calm down. And after let's say an hour and 20 minutes, it was time for their second class, or time for lunch, because why not? They all head to lunch, and Izuku sits down at some random spot that's alone because no one sits with him. He has no friends. And Venom says, so, why is no one sitting with us? Says, no one wants to be my friend. And he says, oh, sorry. He says, don't worry. And he says, he says, don't worry, Venom. Right? And he says, here, let me tell you something. He says, what? I'll be your friend, good. He says, thanks, Venom. And he smiles a little bit, and people notice that. And that's when someone said, freak, why are you smiling, huh? You looking at a girl or something? And all the girls get disgusted. He says, no, of course not. I just thought of that something, sorry. And they said, what's... And the kid gets up to him and just hits him in the face. Says, you better not be looking at the girls, or else I'll kill you, got it? And that's when Venom snapped. He said, sorry, Zuko, I'm going to take control for a little bit. He says, what do you mean? Venom, don't kill him, please. And he said, don't worry. I'm just going to knock some sense into him. And all of a sudden, they all noticed Izuku. That this black ink, or some type of black ink, was coming out of him. And they all got scared. He said, what the hell is this? Isn't he quirkless? And it finally fully covered him. And I'm just saying, they couldn't do anything, but Venom can cover him. And they just see this marking on his chest. It's like a spider, like, marking. And Zuko, or Venom, looks at the kid and steps up to him, says, don't touch me again, or else. And he says, what the hell are you? He says, we are Venom. And all of a sudden, Zuko transforms back, and he's just in shock a little bit. And all the kids stepped back. And just so you know, Bakugo wasn't there, let's just say, not all the kids, but that kid and let's say like 20 other kids, or not 20, or that kid and other kids or the kids that also joined them, let's say, right? The kids that joined them saw that only. And they ran off, and no one really listens to them about Izuku having a quirk, because the kids started screaming that. Ooh, okay. They get you in my face. Talking, you don't even have to try. You don't have to fuck with me tonight. Sorry. But anyways, yeah. And that's when all of a sudden Izuku, sorry. Okay, let's just say after lunch they just had they had PE, and Izuku was just getting ready, and Venom says, "So I should tell you, a lot of your stuff was increased." And he says, "What's that?" Speed. He says, "Oh, okay." Your strength was increased by a lot too, but we'll still increase it. So as your speed, and he says, okay. Durability, so it takes a lot more to hit you now. Says I kind of noticed that when I got punched in the face. Says yeah. And let's see. I'm trying to remember durability, strength, speed. He says that's pretty much it for right now. I think. Well, I'm gonna go quiet. And he says, thanks, Venom. Says, no worries, kid. And Izuku asks it in said, question though. And he isn't listening to anyone. And in real life, they're supposed to be in groups. And Izuku's just standing there, kind of blindless, muttering to himself. And everyone notices that. And the teacher's trying to get his attention, but he isn't budging. He says, how old are you? He says, me? Oh, I'm not even that old. I'm just like 100 or so years old. He says, that's pretty old on my planet, Venom. He says, whatever, kid. It's pretty young for us. It's like we're in a teenage. He says, okay. And all of a sudden, Izuku gets hit on the head, or bonked on the head, and he snaps back to reality, and he sees everyone's looking at him, with the teacher kind of pissed off, and says, get with your group, would ya? And he says, sorry. And he asked, where's my group? And he points, and it's with Bakugo. He says, oh no. He walks over, and Bakugo said, let's go, damn extras. And you too, Deku. And what they were supposed to do is an obstacle course. And Bakugo said, you know what, let's use our best member, shall we, guys? And they all say Izuku, because they want to humiliate him. And there's 4 groups. Izuku, and they all had to choose one person to go first to the obstacle course. And yeah, and the teacher said, on your marks. Izuku gets ready to start running. Get set, go. And everyone starts running, but they see Izuku still right there. Bakugo about to kick him, say, go, damn it. But when he kicked, there was nothing there. He said, wait, what? And that's when they all see him. Izuku's in front of them by a little bit. And they're all confused. What? I thought we just saw him. And he says, wait, is this what you mean by speed, Venom? And he says, yeah. He says, wow, I'm a lot faster. And the first obstacle course was trying to climb over a wall with a rope. And Izuku started climbing the rope with ease. And they're all confused, and they're all shocked. Kids are catching up, though. Izuku gets down quickly and starts running again. And that's when all of a sudden there's a mud pit. Izuku had to get in the mud and start moving quickly. And that's when people started catching up to him. But Izuku was moving very good. Izuku was still moving there in the mud with ease a little bit. And he says, this ain't that bad, Venom. He says, yeah, you're welcome, kid. He says, yeah, I appreciate you, man. He says, don't worry, kid. He says, okay. And they keep going. And, okay. And, God, I have spit in my mouth, great. Okay, but let's say that. Okay, let's say that the next obstacle course after the mud part was just a crawl under. But Izuku didn't want to crawl. He said, that slows down Venom. Says, yeah, just a little bit. And he says, fine. And he starts crawling as fast as he can, moving around stuff. But there's a kid that got in front of him quickly. He says, damn it. And the kid starts running towards the finish line. And Izuku said, damn it. We're gonna lose, aren't we? He says, it's okay. I got it. He says, what do you mean? Sorry, Izuku, I'm gonna take control again. He says, okay. And all of a sudden, Izuku's a lot faster again. And they're all confused. This kid that's in front notices this, and he starts trying to book it. But Izuku passes him with ease and gets there, and the kid gets there right after him. Izuku takes control and looks back and sees everyone is shocked that there's some kids still coming out of the barbed wire, or the crawling under part. So, yeah. Everyone was shocked, and the teacher said, Izuku's team gets 1 point. And they're all shocked. And pretty much Izuku teams gets first, while the other teams get second, third, and fourth. And his team was impressed by Izuku, except for Bakugo, and just shocked. They never said good job, Izuku, or anything. They just hit him on the back and said meh, and just hit him on the back. Bakugo just hits him in general. Teacher doesn't say anything, of course, because it's a teacher. And now we're gonna go to the end of the school day. And for the end of the school day, Izuku runs home quickly, and he gets home. He says, well, Venom, I'm gonna cook us some dinner. And he says, no worry, kid. We don't need it right now. And he says, okay, let's go to that beach, okay? He says, yes, okay, Venom. And they start going. And when they finally get there, hold up. Okay, but when they get to the beach, Venom says it even looks more filthier in real life and then the photos. Says, yeah. And he says, anyways, let's get going, shall we? He says, yeah. And they start training. They pick up the trash, throw it away, pick it up, throw it away. And yeah. Now, we're going to skip to half of the month now. Let's say it's the last 5 weeks of school now, right? And for it being the last 5 days, everyone noticed that Izuku looks a lot more built, and they're all confused why he's trying to build his body now. He never tried at all, but now he is. They're all confused. And the teacher, now we go to him and Venom talking, and Venom is just saying, kid, we've unlocked a few abilities from my arsenal. Says, oh, okay. Says, what's that? Well, now without me controlling, you can use my forms, I guess you could say. My durability, I guess you could say. We have 2. And he says, oh, okay, what are they? Says, well, the first one's about speed and agility. It'll be tight. It'll be perfect for your body for now. He says, oh, that's pretty good, actually. Says, yeah, speed and agility. It still can pack a punch, but it isn't as strong as the second form. Says, okay. Our second form is meant for strength and building part and hitting. So, with the second ability, we still got speed, but not as much as we have with the first form. Says, oh, okay. It's more with strength, and we could fight pretty well with it now. But we do need you to get training with fighting skills. Says, yeah, that's probably true, though, huh? Says, yeah. And all of a sudden, the teacher comes in and says, hello, class. And Izuku has trained his head or his mind more to focus on real life and also talk to Venom without spacing out. And everyone says, hi, Sensei, or hello, Sensei. And the teacher says, well, today we have a little special day today. They're all confused, and they say, we're going on a field trip. We're going to go explore some little... We're going to go have fun at an amusement park today. Come on, guys, let's go. And they're all excited. And Izuku says, I love these 5 weeks. And Venom says, why? It says, simple. It's the 5 weeks that we all have to have fun. And I passed, so I know I'll go to hero school. My goal for us, Venom, says, yeah, what is it, kid? Says, I want to get into UA. So it will be a 5 months training, though. And he says, that's good. He says, why is that? Says, simple. We could get our abilities. We could get more abilities if we train hard. Says, yeah. And everyone starts heading out, and Izuku heads out with them. And they all get on a bus. Izuku's in the back, of course, and no one's sitting around him. And Izuku's just sitting, listening to his music, talking to Venom. Says, so, Venom. And he says, yeah. What other abilities can I learn with you? Says, well, there's an ability that I'm going to take a guess that we'll probably get next time we get an ability. And he says, okay, what is it? Says, it's pretty strong. I can make my body change into anything. I can make my hand into an axe, sword thing. I can make it into a dagger. I can do plenty of things with our form. He says, even with your body, you can make spikes come out of that when we get that ability. He says, that's amazing, Venom. He says, yeah, I know, kid. It's me, I'm Venom. and Izuku laughs a little, and everyone notices this. And Bakugo says, what's so funny, you damn nerd? He says, sorry, Kachan. And he just goes quiet again. And everyone was shocked that he wasn't scared to say, sorry, Kachan. And Bakugo walks up, but the teacher yells at him and says, sit down, Katsuki, we're in a bus. He says, yeah, hi, sensei. He sits back down. And he says, nerd. And Izuku is just talking to Venom about his life and and Venom's asking him questions about his life and his world and his planet. And when they finally get there, though, Izuku gets out of the bus, and the teacher explains, you could all split up or go into groups. I recommend groups, but go and split up. We have the whole day. Have fun, kids, okay? We have more than the whole day. We're gonna stay here for the rest of the week. There's hundreds of things to do here. So, be ready. Understood? And they say, yes, sir. And no one really packed clothes. He says, don't worry. We have clothes assigned for you around your size. And they say, oh, thank you. He says, no worries. The teacher says, no worries. Now, go have fun. Please meet up at the hotel in around 10 o'clock, please, so we could just have a count, and then you guys could head out for the last 2 hours or hang out around. Also, it will be a boys area and a girls area. You could hang out, but you must have your rooms open. And they're all say, oh, come on. Says, I know, but we're still in school. Somewhat. And then, actually, you know what? No, sorry, it's just the rule. They said, fine. And everyone splits up, and Izuku just heads out. And he says, Venom, let me show you some snacks that we get from here. He says, oh, okay. And they go around having fun, and Izuku gets him a caramel apple, and he says, I think this will be good for satisfy both of us. He says, what is this creamy stuff on top of this apple? He says, this Venom is called caramel. It's a sweet syrup. I think you'll like it. Watch. He takes a bite, and Venom just falls in love with caramel apples now. And they finish it up and just have fun. And now we're going to skip to, let's say, it was time Izuku ate lunch. And Izuku got food and sat down. And let's say when he sat down, some other people sat at his table. And they said, hello. And he said, oh, hello. And he keeps eating. And they said, that's a lot of food for you, don't you think, for how small you are? Says, oh, yeah, but, I mean, usually I just work it off. Says, and that's when one of them says, wait, you work out? Says, yeah. Says, that's cool, man. I mean, me and my friends always try to work. Me and my friends work out, but it's pretty hard. And he says, yeah, I can agree with you about that. He says, so what type of workout you do? And he says, well, are you around this area? And they say, and all of them say, yeah, except for one of them. And he says, oh, and just so you know, these are total randoms, right? They aren't going to be special to the story. And he says, well, I clean up the beach as much as I can before I want to head to bed, before I go back to my house and sleep. But I clean up the beach around about or at that beach. He says the beach name. He says, "Oh, wow, how much have you got done so far?" Says, I've got a lot done. I'm probably gonna have to take a break, obviously, but I'm still gonna finish it up." He says, "That's pretty cool, man. Well, thank you for letting us sit here and talk to you." And he says, "No worries." And they all walk off. And he says, "Why can't none of them be like me? Why can't none of them be as?" Then he stops and he says, "Oh yeah, because they'll know that I'm quirkless." And he laughs to himself. And after he was done eating, he does more rides. And now we're gonna go to Izuku at 10, right? And Izuku at 10 just goes and he's just tired, to be genuinely honest. He doesn't want to work anymore. They get counted, and Izuku eats his dinner and heads to his room. And they're all assigned separate rooms, but some people are gonna hang out in the same rooms and sleep in that exact same room, right? And Izuku is in his room and says, "Venom, you could come out." And he says, "Oh, thank you." And he comes out, obviously, and he loves coming out when Izuku gives him permission to, because he thinks it's fun to just talk to him and actually see him instead of just looking kind of through his own eyes, instead of looking through Izuku's eyes. And he says, "Kid, I swear, the more that we work out together is better." He says, "Why is that?" And he says, "Well, you look better." He says, "Thanks, Venom." He says, "No worries, kid." And yeah. And Izuku just sleeps. And all of a sudden, let's say at 2 a.m., someone is banging on his door. He wakes up and says, "Venom, get back in quickly. Get back in the body, quick." Says, yeah, gotcha." He hops back in and he goes to the door. And he looks to the door though. And he sees it's Bakugo and he says, "Oh no." He opens the door and he sees Bakugo with cards in his hand and he says, "Nerd, everyone's asleep. I was wondering if you want to play cards with me." Says, "Sure, Kachan, hop in. Come on." And he opens his door and lets him in. And they just sit on the floor and play cards. And they talk a little bit, but still play cards. And when Bakugo wins, he says, "Ha, better than I won, Deku. How's that feel to lose?" He says, "Whatever, Kachan." And yeah. Bakugo says, "Thanks for the night, Izuku." He says, "No worries, Kachan," with a smile, and Bakugo left. And the next day, everyone just does their thing again. He eats breakfast, of course, and instead of going to the amusement park and finishing everything there, he goes to the aquatic area, right? And he just shows Venom all the animals that they have in their aquatic area. And Venom is impressed. He says, I bet if we cooked, and he talks about if they cook some of them, that I bet they'll be delicious, right? And he says, and Izuku says, probably, but let's not try to cook them. And he says, why? And he says, we'll get arrested. And he says, oh, okay, I guess. He says, so yeah. And yeah. Then, anyways, and now we go to Izuku just doing whatever. Walking around, talking to Venom. Just walking around, really. And he goes back to his room for a little while, and he's just watching TV with Venom, and with Venom, they're just watching the news, and for some reason, there's been break-ins to a science lab recently, and they don't know why. But the only thing that they took was toxin. And Venom says, interesting. And he says, what's wrong, Venom? He says, I never told you. I should have told you this. I'm sorry. When I crashed here, and he says, yeah, it wasn't just me. There was more than me. There is 4 others. He says, wait, 4 others? And he says, yeah. And he says, oh, should we be worried about them? He says, no, we should be okay. I don't know where they've all went. Who knows, they might have gone around the world. And he says, yeah. But hopefully it wasn't here, right? He says, yeah. And he just talks, and Izuku takes a nap while Venom just watches TV. All of a sudden, there's a bang on his door again. Izuku wakes up and says, what is it, Venom? Says, I don't know, people though. Says, okay, you know what the procedure is? And he says, yeah. He gets into his body and looks through the door and sees it's just some people. He opens it and says, hello, how may I help you? And this girl says, sorry to bother you, but can you show me, sorry, no one else was answering except for you. Can you show me where the front desk, or can you show me a ride, this ride? She shows an image, and he says, oh, yeah, sure, follow me. And she says, thank you. Says, why you need me to show you this ride again? Says, well, I kind of lost my friends. And she says, oh, sorry. She says, no worries. Or he says, no worries. Hold on. I'm gonna lay down on the ground. And yeah. Sorry. And Zuka takes her to the ride, and she says, thank you. And he says, no worries. And he starts heading back. And she says, why don't you come join us? I think my friends will be okay. She says, and he says, no. They're your friends. I'm gonna just go take a nap. I'm pretty tired. She says, oh, okay, I guess. Thank you. And he says, no worries. And he starts walking off. But he runs into Bakugo, and he just tries to walk past him. And that's when he says, oi, Deku. And he says, yes, Kachan? Says, where are you going? He says, I'm just going back to my room. He says, good. We don't want a quirkless loser anyways around here. And they all start laughing and walk off. Says, I'm glad I got my fun. I'm glad I got a memory with you still. Us playing cards. And he walks off. And now we'll go to the last, and let's say we go to the next day. And let's say it's Thursday, right? And for it being Thursday, let's just say it's Thursday today, okay? And for it being Thursday, Izuku's just not feeling it. He feels sick a little bit. And he checks his temperature and says, Venom, do you know what's wrong? Says, yeah, we haven't ate as much as we should supposed to be. Says, sorry. And he says, also, I want caramel apples. Says, fine, let's go. And they head back down, and they get and he gets caramel apples and gets a box to make caramel apples. Hold up, give me a sec. Okay, I'm gonna move photos. I'm gonna just switch to this because I feel like you guys will get bored of that first image. Anyways, but yeah. Oh, Jesus. Hold on, give me a sec. Okay. So yeah, and Izuku grabs, like I said, he grabs the ingredients and stuff, and heads back to his room, puts them away. And Izuku said, "Huh, these guys really spent some money on us, huh?" Venom, he says, "Yeah, I thought they would buy you crappy clothes." And Izuku just walks out of his room and accidentally bumps into someone. And he says, "Sorry, ma'am." And she says, "Don't worry, it's my fault. I should have been paying attention." And that's when a younger child says, "Come on, Sue, we gotta go." She says, yeah, I'm coming. Calm down. I'm sorry, still. She says, "No worry." She says, "Sue Asui. You just call me, Asui, though." And he says, "Oh, okay. Sorry about that, though." She says, "No worries." And she runs off. He says, "What a kind girl." He says, yeah. Where are we going, though?" He says, "I'm gonna go work out." He says, "Okay. That's good, actually. We should probably use this workout room." He says, "Yeah." And they start working out, and everyone notices that. And let's say that hold on. Okay, let's say that there's some other people working out from his class there, and they're wondering what he was gonna do. They just see him working out like hell, and they see his body is actually good, built well, and they just see he is moving quicker than they would ever in a workout right now. And when let's say one person says, "Let's do a bench press," or "Let's do a bench press challenge," or "Let's do a bench press competition. Let's see who could bench press the most." And they all agreed, and Izuku wasn't listening. And that's when, let's say, one of his classmates said, "Hey, Izuku," and he says, "Oh, yeah," takes out his headphone and says, "Do you want to do this with us?" And he says, "What? A bench press challenge." So that's sure, why not? And they go through people. People are going to, let's say, 150, and people are just going to 170. The highest right now is 170. And they said, "Izuku, your turn." He says, "Oh, okay." And he starts doing at least 20 easily. And they say, "Okay, more?" He says, "Yeah." And he does it all the way to, let's see, I said 170. He does it to 200 weights. They said, "Holy crap." And he says, "Come on, keep adding." And he keeps going. And the final weights that he lifted and said he couldn't lift anymore was, let's say, 140. And everyone was shocked. And no one beat him. Hold on. But yeah, and no one beat him. He says, "Well, that was fun. I gotta get going, though." And he picks up and heads back to his room. And they're all shocked. And one of them ran off to tell Bakugo. Bakugo said, "Nah, you stop lying. That nerd can't do that. It's like you guys saying that he had a quirk." And they said, "Yeah, I don't believe that he had a quirk. But I just know he just did that. You could ask everyone, you could ask some of the other boys in our class that was with us. He lifted more than any of us can." Says, "Ugh, that damn nerd." And Bakugo starts going to Izuku's room. But before he gets there, hi, baby Max. Ah, crap. Okay. But he sees a girl running around with two other kids, and and Bakugo says, "Ugh, kids, I swear." And he runs past. He accidentally almost made one of them fall. She said, "Are you okay? You okay, buddy? Are you okay?" And he says, "Yeah, sorry, Sue. Sorry, sis." And she said, no worries. And she looks at Bakugo and says, can you watch where you're going, please? Says, can you tell the brats to stop running around? And she says, sorry, but this is a public area. They could run around if they want to, I guess. Says, this is a hotel. No, they kind of can't. Just, fine, sorry to bother you. She walks off with two kids. And he finally gets to Izuku's room, and he bangs on the door louder than last time. Says, oh no, it's Bakugo, isn't it? He gets up, and he says, Venom, now. No, let's say Izuku was actually in the shower, and Bakugo opened the door, and just saw Izuku's, just heard the shower going. Says, ugh, the nerd's taking a shower. And let's say Bakugo looks around, and that's when he notices something. He says, what the hell is this? He notices a notebook of his workout routine. He says, huh, interesting. And all of a sudden, he hears the water stopping. He says, oh no. And he tries to run out of the room, but Izuku opens the bathroom door with Bakugo trying to get out. And Izuku sees him and says, what are you doing here, Kachan? Says, I was looking for you, but you were taking a shower. Sorry, I was just looking around. I shouldn't have. He tries to walk out, and he says, what do you want? With a stern voice, and he says, I was just wondering if this was true. Did you bench 140? Says, yeah. Or, what did I say? 240. Yeah, that's what I should have said. I just noticed what I did. He says, yeah, I did. Thanks for asking. Y'all gonna be so confused when that happens. Oh, great. I'm not restarting this because I'm already 51 minutes in. So, yeah. Shut up, Max. Max. Anyway, so yeah. And he says, yeah, now leave. He says, yeah, sorry, whatever. And also, make sure you're packed tomorrow, because tomorrow morning we're leaving. And he says, yeah, I know, Bakugo. He says, whatever. And yeah. And the next day, they leave the week, and weeks go by after and after. No, let's say for the final day of school, right? We're going to skip to that. Final day of school. Izuku's just in his classroom. The teacher comes out and says, hello, kids. Well, today the school has done a project for us. You will all be wearing these, and it's this, and also, here, I'll show you what you'll all be wearing kind of suits and dresses, or whatever you prefer. That's actually nice from our selection, and we'll be having a dance, in a way you could say. We'll be having a dance for your last day of school. So, the party will begin at 10, and it'll end at 1. So please come if you want, or not, your choice. But I think I should also say where people want to go for school, if that's alright with y'all. And everyone agrees except for Izuku. Izuku just doesn't say anything. He isn't listening. And all of a sudden, he goes through, people want to go to UA. We have Katsuki Bakugo. He says, yeah, okay, what's the next school that people want to go to? And he says, oh, we also have someone else. They're all confused. Who else wants to go to UA? Bakugo's the only one that probably could. And that's when everyone started laughing. Izuku Midoriya. Everyone starts laughing at him, and Izuku isn't listening though. Also, I know how I said a little bit ago that Inko wouldn't be back. I said Inko would be back in 2 months. We're just gonna say that she never came back yet. She's still, let's say that she went to America for the business, and yeah. Okay. Anyways, let's continue. Everyone's laughing, and all of a sudden, Bakugo explodes Izuku's desk. Izuku got a little scent flying back. He wasn't ready for that, and he says, what the hell was that for? Bakugo was a little shocked by this, because he said hell. He never really swears, and yeah. He says, you want to go to UA, don't you? He says, yeah, I do. And I'll make it as a quirkless, or I'll make it. If not, I'll try again. I'll be in UA no matter what, Bakugo. He looks at him with a serious face. Bakugo stepped back and he says, anyways, says, whatever. And the teacher says, Izuku, did you hear what I said about earlier? He says, sorry, sir, no, I had my music on. He takes off his headphones and listens again about the dance, and he says, thank you, sir. And he says, well, get ready for tonight. And let's say it was 5 and they got dismissed. Everyone's running out of school. And Izuku says, before this dance, you want to go work out? Says, yeah. And Venom says, of course, let's go. And they head out. And out of the last week, they've only gained one more ability. And that ability was to, like Venom said, the ability to change his body and actually use his body, right? Hold on. Is it Max? No. Wrong thing. No. Okay. Anyways, like I was saying, and yeah. And Jesus, it's only 12:25. Jesus. Anyways, like I was saying, let's say they finally get there, and Zuko's just cleaning up, and he's halfway done. Let's say, says halfway done, and he checks the time. He says, "Okay, it's 8. We should probably head back, right?" And he says, "Yeah." And they start heading back, and Zuko looks at the options again, because they all got sent a list of what they could wear. Said, "Okay, now choose this, and let me show you what he gets. Give me a sec." Yeah, he got the drip. Anyways, he puts on this and says, how do I look, Venom? Venom comes out and says, you look good. Hi, Maxie. What do you want? Hi. And yeah, he heads to school and everyone's just shocked. Izuku says, that's Izuku. And they're all shocked. The girls are blushing a little bit. And yeah. And for Izuku, what are you doing? Okay, hey. But yeah, and the dance goes on. No one is just everyone's dancing except for Izuku. Izuku's just in the back doing nothing. And yeah, it goes on, and Izuku wants to leave early. He doesn't want to do anything. Sorry about that little pause, or me not speaking. I just had to grab my headset, but he doesn't want to do anything and just heads out. But he was about to leave, and then all of a sudden, a girl asks him if he could dance with her. He looks at her and says, "Why should I?" And she says, "What?" Says, "Why should I? Would you want to dance with me now?" Says, "You've never been nice to me. So, why?" And just got the attention of people. She said, well, and he says, "Answer. People are looking. You don't want that to be weird, huh, don't you?" She said, says, what's wrong? Can you not answer? And people are questioning why she even wanted to dance with Izuku. She said, says, what's wrong? Cat got your tongue? And everyone's kind of impressed as Izuku's saying this to her. She says, fine, you want to know? It's because I think you have money now. I mean, look at you. You never wear anything like this. The only time you really wore something like this is because of school. So, that's the only reason I wanted to date you, so I could get your money. So that's great. That's all I wanted to know. Bye. And he walks out of the building. And Izuku says, you want to try it now, Venom? Says, of course. And I'm going to get rid of this because we won't need it again. He says, you ready to try it, Venom? And I'll get rid of this also. He says, of course. All of a sudden, Izuku's body, the black ink comes around him. He says, let's try it. And he starts running around, jumping, and he notices he jumps a lot higher now too. Says, "Is this new too?" Says, "Yeah." "Hold up, I want to try something." And Venom focuses a lot. Says, and he says, "Ah, my head." Zuko starts holding his head and says, "What are you doing, Venom?" Says, "Sorry, I'm trying to push through some more abilities." Says, "Okay, tell me when you're done, because this hurts like hell." Says, yeah. And after about a minute or so, Zuko's head stops hurting. He says, what abilities did you push through?" And he says, "Two. So that's why it hurts so much. If it was one, it would have just been a little headache." But he says, "Okay." He's still holding his head. "What were they?" It's simple: web shooting and sticking to walls like a spider. He says, "Okay, let's try it." He says, "Wait, how am I gonna shoot the web?" He says, "What? Just do a hand position, I guess." He says, "Okay." He he puts two fingers down with two up, and his thumb down, and shoots a web, shooting it off. He says, "Whoa, are these just organic or what?" He says, "Yeah, they are now." This is cool. Swings around. He says, "So did you alter my DNA or something?" He says, "Just a little bit." He says, "Nice." And they go on for the rest of the night. And that's where I'm going to end it, guys. Sorry. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy, and see ya.